This is Dave with Taboo Customs. This video today is going to be a quick walkthrough of our shop. A few people have requested to take a look at what we've got now that we've moved into our new buildings. We've made a few improvements to the buildings and we've purchased some new equipment. So we'll walk around and we'll take a look at those in a real quick and discuss what we've done. Alright, so the first thing that we've done to the building, and that's an improvement in the electrical system. Now, if you're not familiar with the building, we have a 52-foot wide by 190 feet long building here, so roughly 10,000 square feet. Now, one of the big things we knew when we moved here that we'd have access to that we hadn't had access to before was three-phase power. Now, unfortunately, someone in their infinite wisdom had removed the three-phase from this section of the building. So we had to have an electrician come in, bring in new three-phase power, and put in a new box so that we could distribute that to the rest of the building. But now that we've done that, we've actually started purchasing a little bit larger fabrication equipment for us to use that we'll take a look at here in a minute. Now, for the other major system that goes throughout our shop besides the electrical, and that's our air system. For that, so we use a two-stage air compressor that we purchased fairly reasonably. However, it had a blown pump. Whenever we purchased it, replaced the pump, got it going, works great for us. We actually run that into a Harbor Freight dryer, which we've been using for about 2-3 years now, and it's worked great for us. Never had an issue. It does keep the air dry going to our plasma. Solved a lot of problems we were having with our plasma table. Now, as far as the air distribution around the shop, obviously we've got a large shop. We did go with the MaxLine airline system throughout the entire shop, and we used this in our old shop, but we learned some lessons. We learned that you really got to make sure that you have these ends squared away, make sure you lubricate the O-ring as you put it together. That way we don't have any leaks. We got roughly, I think about 400 feet of Max Airline now running through our shop to several different places, and we have really no issues with any major leaks, and we haven't really seen any minor leaks. I've checked all of those joints and done really well for us. All right, so it's one of the pieces of equipment that did make its way from our old shop now to the new shop is our 5x5 Wright CNC plasma table. One of the things with moving this, we were a little bit scared that we might cause some issues after we got it moved and it might not start up correctly, but everything made the move just fine. We got it started up. We've been using it for quite a while, still working great for us. We did get our downdraft system all hooked up, and that's all squared away. Everything's still working great on this end. We did leave enough space over here where we put the table that in the future we want to possibly go to a 4x8 table so we can start dealing with larger sheets of material. We did leave enough room for that so that we can do that in the future. So one of the big additions to the shop, and honestly, buying a press brake was one of the things that in the old shop really forced us to move because we did not have the space to have the press brake put in. We didn't have the door height to even bring a press brake in, and then we didn't have the power requirements to use a press brake. So one of the first things we did when we purchased the buildings here is we did purchase a press brake. And we'll do some more individual videos on this press brake. As you can see, we purchased a Bailey press brake. It's a 33-ton. For us, what we're doing here with our products, it'll work out great for us. We've already started using it and really helped out already in just the short time that we've had it. Okay, so as for the setup of this side, we've kind of got it set up to where our raw material will come in over on the east side, flow across the wall over here to, we've got a weld table, and I left enough space so that we could add a second weld table if we need to. Obviously got our welder, and then we get into some of our additional lesser used fab equipment, our drill press, our iron worker. We've got our large bandsaw, of course, over there. And talking about equipment, moves and having issues, moving the large bandsaw, we've actually been having a few minor issues with it where I have to keep resetting a few breakers because something did get jostled in the move. So as I was mentioning earlier, moving equipment can kind of be a sketchy deal. So next, I wanted to make sure that we had an area set up, obviously, to work on vehicles, to work on projects. And with this amount of space we have, luckily, we're going to be able to do multiples of that. Now, another addition we did make, and another big thing that we couldn't put in our old shop that we went ahead and we did first thing when we got here, was we put in a lift, which is obviously a pretty critical piece of equipment whenever you're working on any vehicles. It has already helped out immensely. We've already started doing a few rust repair kits on it. Makes it a whole lot easier, especially as, for me, you get a little bit older, you don't want to lay on the ground all the time. Now, the way I set this up is I wanted to set it up that if in the future I wanted to purchase another lift, I'd have enough space. And I tried to get them right in front of the door. The main door for the shop is right behind the camera, so that as we bring vehicles in, especially if the vehicle's dead, we can pull it in pretty easily, get it on the lift without too much trouble. The way we plan on doing this, is we hope to have this lift here pretty well empty most of the time. Then next to that, I'm going to have basically bays eventually for working on major projects. I've got my yellow CJ that had sat in the corner of the old shop for about 2 years and really didn't get touched because it was pushed in the corner. We couldn't do much with it because we didn't have the room. Well, now we've got it in one of those bays, so we've actually started being able to do a little bit of work on it as we're moving forward here. In addition to that, we'll have another project coming in soon that'll go where that TJ is currently at as our second project and a second project bay per se. All right, so that pretty much does it for the walkthrough. The area behind us, you can see that's our northern area of the shop. It's really just filled with miscellaneous stuff, from the move. Also, there's a lot of stuff in there from the current house build, because when we started tearing the house out, a lot of 2x4s and wiring and the furnaces and everything, we kind of just put in the north end of the shop here just to keep them so we can decide whether we want to recycle them or sell them or get rid of them. Eventually we'll set up probably some storage or whatnot up here for different parts and be able to store a lot more parts and things for that for our project. So. All right, so thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about what we have used in our shop or questions about what we do, feel free to contact us here on YouTube or Facebook, Instagram, anything is fine. Thanks for watching, and as always, please like or subscribe.